Got home from work, kissed all my babies, and went straight to the garage for a bench press heavy session. So when every other day I come in and the focus is straight off bench. I don't want to pre-fatigue myself in any other way. I just want to work on bench press for a good hour and then do some squatting, and that's the session. Very early on, I realized that I didn't have it again. So this is breaking up the pattern of the last 2 months that I've been feeling fantastic on the bench. Now, I do want to say that I don't have any elbow pain. So it's not like, that's stopping me. It's just simply that I feel weak. I feel weak off the chest for whatever reason. I still feel strong in my hands, but I feel weak off the chest, which is interesting. So then I look back at the journal. I'm like, what did I swap? What did I swap out? What did I trade in? What changes did I make to disrupt this thing? If I can conclude safely that I didn't make any changes, then I have to look something like, okay, maybe it's the fatigue, maybe it's the CNS completely getting smoked, maybe I'm not eating enough, all these types of things. But I have made a change recently. I've started working on overhead squat. So snatching introduction has kind of made it in maybe a week ago, something like that. And automatically, boom, I'm getting text through the traps, through the upper back. And then I start to work on overhead squat. And that really lights my upper back up. Shoulders, upper back, mid back, all that stuff gets lit up. Ever since then, I'm having trouble with the bench press. I just can't fight with the bar. The bar feels light in my hands, but I just can't get it off the chest. So automatically, I'm like, okay, maybe it's the overhead squat. I have no doubt in my mind that there are some movements that do not belong together in a training program. You can't just mix and match and think that everything is, viable with everything. No, there are some things that amplify other things, and there are other things that completely dampen some things. And I reckon that, if you're going to focus on the bench press heavily, you're going to find it very, very hard to also put in work in the overhead squat type of pattern and find success. Now, snatching, the way I was snatching, like the power snatching, the muscle snatching, that's okay. But holding that position at the top and then asking, your body to hold that position while going into an ATG squat or work your way to an ATG squat, that isometric contraction absolutely smokes me. Now, it probably smokes the central nervous system because I'm holding this god-awful position for a very long time. It's just probably taxing the living hell out of the whole thing around my neck. The traps, the lower traps, the rhomboids, all that stuff gets lit up. And then I come to the following day, try and work on my bench press, and I simply don't have it. And I reckon that's what's happening. And I reckon I need to do something about it. But I'm not going to act yet. I've kind of flagged that this might be the problem, but I'm not going to act upon it yet. I'm going to put in a couple more sessions of the overhead squatting business and see what happens. Right now, I will say I will prioritize the bench press. The bench press right now is one of the best training periods that I've had in my entire life. I am not going to jeopardize that. So I'm going to try and see if I can make it work. If my bench press is suffering too much, I'm taking the overhead squat out of the mix, and I'll just continue working on the snatching, the power snatching, the muscle snatching bit, and then also go back to my focus of cleaning. Power cleaning, that didn't disrupt anything. So let's see how it goes. Right now, I'm kind of annoyed. I really wanted to work on, the overhead squat. A couple of you guys mentioned the SOTS press, and I'm like, man, sick. I'm going to work on the SOTS press as well, try and kind of implement that, and with the hopes that that's going to improve my overhead squat. However, it looks like that is too many recovery points that I'm taking away from the bench press, and I simply can't recover enough. So I'm going to have to watch this space. I'm going to have to prioritize something. You can't do everything, as you know. There's only very maybe one or two things at a time that you can improve on, and those things have to be kind of staying away from each other, right? So if the two things that you're trying to improve are taking the same resources from the same sites, you're going to have trouble, and you're probably going to not go anywhere without those things. So if you're going to work on the bench press, heavily focus on the bench press, stay away from other things which are going to fry the shoulder region, shoulder girdle, anything got to do with that, stay away from it. Doing cleans has been fine, surprisingly, but it's just the overhead position that really kind of smashes you. So I'm gonna try and see if I can make it work. If not, I'm gonna have to go back to the setup that I had a few weeks ago and just continue doing that. And maybe I'll have to put the full clean, full snatch on hold for a little bit. Maybe for down the track somewhere where I give bench press a bit of a rest. But this is the nature, man. Like you can't be a Ferrari and also have luxury like a Bentley. Those two things don't mix. So you have to kind of pick and choose. And as you guys know, I have not deadlifted for quite some time. I have not really pushed my squat for quite some time because all of those things take away from the bench press. And even though squat every day is my thing, I'm doing squat volume in other places. I'm not just squatting for my squat volume. Because if I do, then, I can't fucking, do cleans, I can't do snatches, I can't do bench press. It just takes too much away. And for a very long time, that's what I did. I just focused heavily on my squat and everything else suffered immensely. Right now, I'm getting squat through frequency, squat volume through frequency. And that's what I want to leave it at right now, just so I can continue to, make the bench press continue to go as it is. Like I said, it's never been like this in my life. I've never put on 12 freaking kilos in the bench press so quickly. So after 3 years of plateauing, 2 years or whatever it is, or plateauing, to do this, it's remarkable, and I don't want to dampen that progress. So let's see how it goes. And I will have to prioritize one thing and let the other kind of chill for a bit. Appreciate you guys like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.